Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love.
Listen up, Auto Thoughts of the Simple Clowns. You're listening to Prime Cuts, a nonlinear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Mara.
I'm your other host, Audrey.
And we finally finished it. We finally watched 18 episodes of television.
I've said this a lot of times over the course of this podcast, and I know that. Like, I understand that I'm only able to speak in memes, like some fucked up Pokemon. But truly now, our long national nightmare is over.
It was a real... I'm glad we got them out of the way. It was a real punishing back-to-back situation.
We did that to ourselves. We have no one to blame but ourselves.
Yeah.
I particularly have no one to blame but myself for this after Mara forced me to watch the dub of Energon.
Yeah, I forced you to have the worst experience.
Yeah, so my beloved co-host forced me to have a worse experience, and then I said, I'm doubling down. I never learned how to fold. I bet on losing dogs.
Absolutely. The War for Cybertron trilogy is absolute fucking dog-ass television.
This really truly might be the worst to have ever done it.
With
regards to Transformers.
It's really up there. Like, I've been thinking about it since we finished it, because I was like, okay, who is the show for, right? Because it's not for new fans. If this is your first Transformers show, you will be so fucking lost. You will have no goddamn clue what is going on.
I can tell you exactly who it's for, by the way, but please continue. Finish your thought first.
It's not for people who want more mature Transformers storytelling, because it doesn't actually do that, right? It's not actually like a more complex or like actually darker storyline for the most part. It's just really poorly lit, and everyone sort of growls all of their lines.
It's darker in a very literal sense.
Yeah, so it's not really for like sickos. It's not like, you know, the Wreckers trilogy or whatever, where some fucked up shit's happening to people, because it's not really. And it's not for like hardcore fans who are enthusiasts about the characters, because almost all of the characters in this show are like unrecognizable versions of themselves.
What are you talking about? Skyfire was like a 1-to-1 from G1.
Like, other than, I would say, the only characters that are actually characters, and I'm really stretching this. I'm really giving this show like a lot of wiggle room here. The characters that are actual characters are Optimus, Megatron, Bumblebee, Elita 1, Primal, and Dinobot.
Yeah. I will say, though, if we are talking about, like, comparisons to, like, previous incarnations, I actually think the best one to do it is Wheeljack.
Yeah, Wheeljack, they got pretty 1-to-1. He's a goofy, funny guy who loves to blow stuff up.
Yeah, not a major player. Oh, Starscream's a character.
Yeah, him too. Him and Ratchet, at least for the first season. After that, he just becomes another fucking background guy.
Fuck him after those first 6 episodes. But, like, Starscream was an actual character.
For sure.
Cassandra-fied as he was. But I would say the most, like, accurate 1-to-1 was actually Wheeljack, and that is both because he is not a central character, so there was, like, less for them to fuck up to an extent, and to the extent that he was on screen, it was actually pretty close to his G1 counterpart.
Yeah,
all things
for
being
sure.
Equal.
He like got more and more G1 Wheeljack as it went on, because I remember in that first episode we were both like, what the fuck is this supposed to be, Wheeljack?
Yeah, and then suddenly it was like, oh, it's like suddenly he's a bodega owner. Okay, that's fine.
fucking
Now he sounds like my beloved New York Wheeljack.
Double Dealer was in this show. Like the other thing about this show, the character selection is so fucking weird.
But again, like that is because, and again, that is the tragic thing about this show, is that it was clearly made, and there are different showrunners for every season, right?
No, it was
like,
all the same person.
It's
There were
sorry,
different...
same showrunner, but different writers.
Yes,
For every season. That's what I mean. That there were different like core writers for every season. So fine. But like you can tell that this was a passion project, that this was made with love. And unfortunately that does not make it taste better.
No, like
The secret ingredient being love does not make it taste. You know that Reddit post about the woman who, when she fights with her husband, takes out the organic jam?
no.
And says that. So there's this like Reddit post where like she's like, "Am I the asshole for like gaslighting my husband in this very light way?" Where she's like, "So I make lunch for my husband every time, like for work, and I make PB&J for him, and he like almost always he's like." "Oh man, this tastes so good." And I say, "It's because I made it with love," except when we fight, and then I tell him that I made it with hate. And he says that he can taste the hate in it, but my secret is that when we're not fighting, I use Welch's grape jam, and when we do fight, I use a secret organic grape jam that's in the back jelly that's in like the back of the fridge that he never sees.
That
So he literally thinks he can taste my anger at him.
That's fucking incredible. Oh my god.
It's a great post.
Elita won an Optimus coded for sure.
It's genuinely like a very funny situation. Yeah, no. I mean, like, that is the thing, right? Is that you can tell that like this was made with love, but it tastes like the organic seedless grape jam.
Yeah,
and not the Welch's grape jelly.
For sure. And just like, I know part of it is toy line limitations, I guess, right? Like, this was tied very, very heavily to a toy line, which, you know, some shows are less tied to their toy line than others. I mean, Prime is functionally like divorced from it. It took like a year and a half to actually start getting the figures on shelves.
I would argue with you on that one.
Well,
it took a long time for them to get out, but there was a very extensive line of Prime toys.
There was, but the thing about
because they were such distinctive designs.
There were, but I would say that one of the weird things about the Prime toy line, it had an insane amount of toy-only characters because there was like a scrapped third season plan involving a faction of space pirates. So a lot of the characters like never really got, at least over here in Japan, the Prime toy line popped off like crazy. Over here, I don't think there were a whole lot of like I don't know if Dreadwing got a toy in the Prime toy line. You know, there was just a lot of weird gaps. And then you had like,
I don't know. This might just be me speaking about the fact that outside of my Starscream toys, of which I have many, almost all of my toys are from the Prime toy line.
Oh yeah, but I will say, what I'm saying here is not that it was not tied to the toy line. Obviously it was. Almost, but it's very clear that the show was not necessarily like weighed down by it. The character choices were not required by the toy line, right? Because they couldn't afford it, probably because of the animation, but also like you just didn't have a bunch of guys being shoehorned in all the time. Meanwhile, why is Skylinks in this show? And why is he in it in the way that he is? Why is Barricade one of the Decepticons who keeps popping up again? Like, what are these random fucking no-name character? Okay, Skylinks isn't a no-name character, but like Skytread, Spinister, the Infinite Seekers, it was all just so like And then you had really major and memorable and fan favorite characters like Astro Train functionally like barely being in the show.
Or like Skyfire.
Or Skyfire being a total... Well, he was in the show. It was just that
he was in the show, but was he?
Unfortunately.
Is Skyfire in the room with us right now?
No, because he died in a really funny
That's
way.
right. He died really badly along with everyone else left on Cybertron.
But yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of comparisons you can pull between this, what they were presumably attempting to do here, and some of the stuff in the IDW comics with regards to like actual sort of character-driven, darker storytelling. But I think we've said enough about that. The show is just really bad, like incompetent in basically every way.
Yeah, it's just poorly made.
And yeah, I mean, obviously the people behind it had some appreciation for it, but I think, like you said, appreciation and love for something does not automatically mean that the thing you're making is imbued. Like you can quote the fucking 86 movie all you want. That doesn't automatically give your show a fucking pass, you know?
My opinion of this show is that it should have been a fan fiction.
It feels like one, and also
because it should have they should have just put this on AO3.
And
truly.
even you know, I'm not when we say that, I think we're both talking about not even necessarily the amateur feel of it, but fan fiction has a very particular pacing problem that most other forms of media don't.
It's
because so much fan fiction is published serially, right? And when you're doing that, if you're an inexperienced writer who has some kind of expectation to publish things on a regular basis, eventually you just kind of like, there's a lot of fan fictions have long periods, some of them anyway, have long periods where the characters just kind of aren't doing anything, where they're just like spinning their wheels, but you still have to write everything. That's what the second season of this show feels like. That's what Earthrise feels like to me. Is like, oh, this exists because you have like a space of 2 chapters between your first fan fiction chapter and your 4th fan fiction chapter, and you have to fill the time. So that's how we get to White Bumblebee.
I mean, my entire point of saying it was that fan fiction exists for a very specific purpose, and like it is most ideally used to get a story that you are passionate about but like can't quite polish for like real publication, like out into the world. And like that's fine, and that's what this should have been, but it wasn't. This was a trilogy on fucking Netflix. And it just like, I don't know, as a fan fiction writer who is also just like genuinely a very good writer, like I'm comfortable saying that about myself, it pisses me off a bit.
Oh yeah. It's also worth remembering that the showrunner of this show is in fact also the guy who made the Machinima Prime Wars trilogy.
Right, yeah, I know.
So, you know, maybe he just maybe he just sucks.
But like that's the thing. Like that also could have been fan fiction.
Yep. But instead it was
that also could have been on AO3.
Oh, you know, honestly, it being a
some of us do this for the love of the game, folks.
Yeah, and some people want a book deal out of it.
Right.
So you get all those weird like the Raylo with the serial numbers filed off books. We're never watching Prime Wars. You can't make me remember Southern Gentleman Overlord. Even though
it doesn't count. If it's not on like a dedicated network, it doesn't count.
Which Cyberverse was mostly on the internet, but it was on TV for a while. It wasn't an internet only show until like the last 2 seasons, I think.
It was on broadcast. That's fine. It counts. Prime
Wars doesn't count. It being on Machinima does make it closer to fan fiction than this. Just in format wise, it feels more like it feels.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that this should have been fan fiction?
Yeah, like man,
that's the issue. The issue is that it wasn't.
And it wouldn't have been very good fan fiction. It would have been pretty bad fan fiction because
But you know what? That's fine.
That is fine because you didn't waste
That's
18
fine.
episodes of our time.
Listen. We published on Pot of Greed just this week our episode 269, which was our third fan fiction episode, and I talked about fan fiction and like I very much believe in encouraging bad writing.
Yeah, you gotta...
like, especially in a world that is like being taken over by like Gen AI, like I encourage anyone with any spark of creativity to pursue that spark with as much passion as they have for it as they can possibly carry, even if they're young, if they're inexperienced, or even if it turns out they're not that good. Because as it turns out, folks, I know now, as someone who has a career in it, that there's actually a very limited number of talented writers out there, and that's also okay. But like, you should be able to do that. You should be able to like come up with whatever little concept your mind dreams up and publish it on somewhere like AO3. You just shouldn't get however many hundreds of thousands of dollars this guy got to make a series out of it. That's it.
Remember when Omega Supreme was in this show for 2 minutes?
Yeah, but then he got bored.
He literally they just say, "Oh, he left," and no one can find him. Like, that's great. Yeah. Let's move on to some questions, shall we? Oh boy.
Sure, let's do that. Okay.
We got a lot of them. End of season. Let's go.
Yep, I mean, that's fine. We have nothing else to talk about, so that's fine. Actually, not as many as I would have thought. Mostly they're long ones.
Yeah, we got the big old like end of season like award show stuff.
We could talk about this first one very briefly because we just spent like the last 12 minutes talking about it. But Decepticon Ruby says, explain in high gruesome detail, interrupted by funny train traffic and construction noises, what you wish to do to War for Cybertron Trilogy. I wish to unmake it. Yeah, That's it. I just wish it was never made and that I never had to watch it.
I want to Thanos snap this son of a bitch out of existence. Just get it out of here. We don't need it.
Yeah.
Mr. Hasbro, I don't feel so good.
Mr. John. Meek Wimwalk Wellview asks, how many Cybertronians are you disdainfully bestowing clown wigs to for what they did in this show? We're getting to the awards. Don't worry about it. We're getting there.
Yeah. Spoiler, it's a good amount of the cast. It's like 60% of the cast.
Geist asks, who is the most disappointing character across all three of these stupid shows? Who had the most wasted potential? Optimus!
Yeah.
It's Optimus. He sucks.
Like...
He's absolutely irredeemable in this series.
I always love an Optimus who is struggling with the pressures of leadership and, like, he makes mistakes and he's trying to do his best, but it's like, I love an inexperienced.
But this asshole isn't even trying.
That's one of the reasons I love animated. Yeah, this Optimus just sucks. He just his plan is bad, and he keeps saying it's not bad until it fucks up, and then he goes, "Oh, my plan was bad," and then he goes and then he does the stupid fucking Christian Bale voice, and then his ghost wife says, "It's okay, honey."
First runner up for me would be Skyfire, but it has to be Optimus for this.
It's like I also just like both Optimus and Megatron are just absolutely sauceless in this show. Like, you're trying to make this fucking, dark, emotionally fraught, like intense fucking thing, and it absolutely doesn't work if your two main characters are just total fucking jokes. Like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Cox's most loyal soldier, Chet, asks, you've heard of the iconic Decepticon trio of Megatron, Soundwave, and Starscream, but how excited are you for the new iconic trio who will replace the original trio in every TF cartoon from now on? Scrapface, Hotlink, and Spinister. Cog, I'm sending federal agents outside your house. Chet.
The fucking Scrapface is so funny.
Yeah. I think we are still divided on whether it's shit face or fuck face, but regardless,
Yeah.
it's funny either way.
It really is like, goddamn, he really got the worst name ever.
Have you accepted into your hearts our new Cybertronian Lord and Savior Cog? The government agents are ever approaching. I'm
bringing him back to life to kill him again. Fuck that guy. Why is he so important? Remember when I saw his ghost in the fucking woods?
Remember when they built a giant statue?
Giant statue of Cog. Oh, he was the best of us. He blew up that ship.
We'd be lost without you.
He shot those guys, yelled at a Quintezon, got killed by the Quintezon, and then blew up the ship. He was so
I
good.
named you after the bravest person I know. The bravest man I knew. Cog Scrapface Potter.
He was so good. Sometimes he would turn into shoulder cannons for me. I missed him so much.
Okay, but also from chat, a real question we can answer, which is, can we take a moment to appreciate Frank Todaro's performance of Starscream in this POS show? Yes. I would say that his performance varied. Again, I give the voice actors a lot of leeway in this show because we've talked about this a lot, but we've heard a lot of them in other shows. And they may not be like the best we've ever heard, but they are certainly not as bad as they are in this one.
Yeah, they can do good work.
Yeah. And so I give a lot of credence to the idea that some of the worst voice acting we hear in this show is entirely due to direction, as opposed to like voice acting talent. Yeah. So, Todaro's performance varied, as everyone's in this show did, but I will say that in the last episodes, particularly of Earthrise, he did a pretty solid job.
Yeah. He's also like one of the only guys actually doing a voice. Everyone else just sounds the fucking... Well, okay, there's one other guy doing a voice, and it's when Jake Fushi goes, "You gotta forgive me," as Optimus, and it's like, okay, well, don't do that.
But again, like, same with him, right? Like, it's the same thing. We know he can do... It may not be your favorite Optimus, I get that, but, like, it's certainly better than that.
Well, I will say, congratulations to Jake Fushi. You're no longer my least favorite Optimus in Cyberverse. You are now my least favorite Optimus in War for Cybertron.
I think he does a fine job in Cyberverse, honestly.
It's just not one I vibe with.
I know, yeah. It's perfectly serviceable. But like that's the thing, is that again, like Mara has always had more of an issue with his performance in Cyberverse than I have, but like this was so bad that like both of us were like, oh my god, this is maybe the worst voice acting I've ever heard in like an English language original.
Yeah, it's all just like so bad. Also, by the way, the guy who voices Megatron in this show also voiced him in the Machinima trilogy. Like,
have you watched Garzy's Wing?
I have not, but I've seen clips. So yeah, it's
12th and 13th century warriors surround me. That's always my favorite one. Everyone, that and the humans are just humans. We are all human.
Yep, that was pretty good.
I have watched all of Garzy's Wing, by the way. It is the dub of Garzy's Wing is a treasure. It's only 6 episodes long, folks. If you want to have yourself
the optimal length for a bad dub.
If you want to have yourselves a good time, I highly recommend getting like Wizard High and watching Garzy's Wing the whole way through.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
A great experience.
You should do that sometime.
But like, Garcy's Wing, as we've noted, is a dub, right? Like, it is a notoriously bad dub, but it is a dub. This might be the worst voice acting I've ever heard in an original like English language.
It's just so amateur. It's just so fucking like...
And again, these guys aren't amateurs. Like, that's the thing about it. It is like conscious choices from the director. that may have made them sound like that, which is crazy.
I do wonder also if like is this like because this was like in production during COVID, so these were all remote. I mean, people rarely record in booth for most stuff anyway, and especially not for like some fucking slop Netflix cartoon. But like you can usually tell when someone is there in a booth, not even with other actors, but is just like in the moment, and then someone who is like sending in their lines remotely and getting like remote direction, which generally just has a longer lag time on this stuff.
Yeah.
And like this stinky ass voice acting is totally like you're getting like notes on fucking Discord or whatever. Like it's
Yeah. Anyway, roar for Cybertron.
You have to forgive me.
Roar for Cybertron asks, it's once again the time where we celebrate the end of a show with the award show. What a fucking stinker, huh? Can only go up from here, right? But regardless, y'all made it through! As always, we are seeking your opinion as members of this esteemed institution for the Skyward number 1 through 46 Memorial Awards for doing a bad job at sucking. Really funny, Aurora. Good job. Thank you. This season's categories are Best Worst Voice Acting. Now, if this was just Worst Voice Acting, we would obviously be giving it to Optimus. That's a given. Best Worst Voice Acting is I'm giving it to Megatron.
I was about to say...
Mostly for his performance in the middle where he was just sounding so bored and so over it all the time.
He sounded like he was on fucking Valium in Earthrise. He was like...
Okay. No, not Earthrise. It was fucking,
It was Earthrise, because that was...
Oh, it was
like,
Earthrise.
He was
right,
depressed,
yeah.
He was talking to Ultra Magnus.
That's right, yeah. It was like... Oh, man,
It takes Jason Marnoka like twice as long as everybody else to say lines in the show. He talks at like half speed.
Yeah, no, so yeah.
Which he doesn't do as Galvatron. He talks normal pace as Galvatron.
Again, we know all these guys can do a better job than they did here. Like, that is, like, objectively true.
It's just really funny because on one side you have Optimus doing like, blah, 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 and then the other, I am
okay.
Megatron. Oh, hello. I'm the bad guy.
I must kill Optimus.
And his voice is so heavily modulated. It was really hard to understand him sometimes. It's like, what? What did he say?
Second category is most impactful Skywarp death. Honestly, the only one I can think of is actual Skywarp death, which is
because he tattled on Jetfire. I do
none of the other ones matter at all.
There's a seeker that gets cut in half by Jetfire in the middle of the air. That was a pretty cool moment. With his like sword, he like slashes them in half. That isn't really impactful. It's more just like kind of a cool thing to do. Don't
give Skyfire credit.
Well, no, I'm giving the Seeker credit for having a cool death, not for Skyfire doing something cool. That could be anybody's laser sword. Yeah, it probably is real, actual Skywarp.
Yeah. Dumbest Autobot plan beside jettisoning the Allspark into space. Whatever the fuck Cog was doing when he died.
Yeah, the fucking like weird solo mission he went on, where he just like, fuck you, Quintesson, and then the Quintesson just kills him.
Yeah, okay. That one.
Cool. What did you even do?
Best White Bumblebee. Yeah, best White Bumblebee moment. Oh, there's so many to choose from.
When probably... he goes, haha, yellow.
That's true. It actually is the best moment from him.
R.I.P. Bug Bite, gone too soon. We also skipped over Dumbest Decepticon plan.
Oh, Dumbest Decepticon plan. Everything that Shockwave had going on in this show, honestly.
Donnie, like, let me tell you, like, oh yeah, we talk about Optimus Megatron Shock. This version of Shockwave is such a fucking pussy. Oh my god, he sucks so bad.
But not even in a funny way, like G1.
No, not like in a sort of like funny effete villain kind of way. He just sucks. He's just like not. Yeah. He's not funny. He should have
been a vizier plotting and whispering in Megatron's ear, and Megatron should have got haha. See, Shockwave, this is why I fuck with you.
Like, see, yeah, Shockwave should always either be like, one, he should be Vizier maxing, any combination of these things. He should be vizier maxing. He should be a complete fucking sicko. He should be like
evil incarnate.
He should be like on his shit, and he's just this is like easily the worst version of Shockwave I've ever seen.
Strangest character interpretation. Now you would think
Skylinks.
I was about to say you would think that I would go with Skyfire, but it is absolutely Skylinks.
What the fuck? Like, why is he a spiritual guide in this show? That episode just starting with the flashback to like, okay, so number 1, Skylinks is here. Number 2, he was a problem. Number 3, Alpha Trion has a stick that can send people to hell. Number 4, he sent Skylinks to hell. Number 5, Skylinks like reached nirvana in hell, and now he's going to help Optimus Prime find his fucking inner light. It's like, what? What
There's
is happening?
a light.
Like, and then he just dies.
I mean, listen, he was already in hell. Worst animation. I have two ties for this. It is anytime Optimus punches.
Oh, the fucking hand-to-hand fights in the show looks
So it's anytime
bad.
Optimus punches, and then it is anytime anyone transforms.
Oh!
Except with I will give one exception, which is when Megatron transforms in like the last episodes.
Yeah, he does like some cool shit with the
that was actually pretty. Yeah, that was pretty cool to look at. But every other time, it is so incredible to me that a show called Transformers, they fucked up the basic premise.
I can probably count on my hands the amount of time we see a character transform. Was it like...
It's very rare.
I think it was Hound that like just sort of vibrated in place and then was a Jeep.
Yeah!
I was like, oh! Oh! It's like, once again, you guys are basically just using 3D models of the fucking toys in this show.
Like, an engineer figured this out.
You can make the fucking transform. You can fudge it a little bit. That's fine. We don't care if it's entirely accurate. It's fun to fudge it. But they just vibrate his model really quickly for a couple of seconds, then he'll be a Jeep.
And finally, shittiest attempt at a reference to a previous Transformer thing. So I find all of like the 86 movie references to be particularly disgraceful, but I do think the worst of them is I Still Function.
That one's bad. I think, and I know you are always like, you're not a Beast Wars girly that much. That's fine. I am a Beast Wars girly. And I found all the shit in Kingdom where they were just doing all of the Beast Wars season 3 and 2 stuff like disgusting. Like the Dinobot stuff. Disgusting. The Dinobot stuff. The fact that they just the Nemesis bombing the Ark. It's like, okay, so you're just doing the series finale, but total shit. Okay.
But
cool.
hey, remember Fog Monster Silverbolt?
What the fuck was good? We still never got an answer. Like that is the most like intriguing fucking character morsel we get in the show. Like, what the hell's going on there? Wait. Does that mean was Silverbolt here and he died and they had the thing but it broke bad? What the fuck happened? We'll never know. We'll just never know. Bizarre. Just completely fucking busted show.
Post Allspark Cybertron Cleanse asks,
Ugh.
Congratulations on making it through yet another season of Transformers. This one sure was a stinker, but we of the Academy persisted. Special thanks to your reward for Cybertron, Cog's most loyal soldier, Decepticon Rumi, Migwimok Waviu, Ninja Consultant of Cybertron, Sideswipe Sam, Geist, and Post Allspark Cybertron Cleanse for their dedication to the cause.
Hey, you can't credit yourself, Sabrina. That's how it works.
I mean, she can do whatever she wants. This simple survey will go to help the archivists gain a better understanding of this universe's standing in comparison to the others you have viewed. She's doing stairs.
Yes, it's plummeting.
1. Which faction was more sympathetic throughout the show? If your answer changes in between parts, please specify.
The Maximus.
I hate all of these. Yeah, literally the
Because
Maximals.
they
I
were
hate all
like,
these
hey,
motherfuckers.
hey, Prime, you you fucked it up. You ruined the future. Actually, okay. The it's not a quote from the movie, but the line that's still so is like, okay, well, why did you write it like that? It's still the one where they're talking to Prime and they reveal that they're from the future. It's like, we're from you. It's like we. They don't say we are your future. They say like we are from the future. It's like, well, that's just a clunkier line. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta like commit. But they didn't. Anyway,
Dare
it's
to
the
be
Maximus.
stupid, as they say.
Mhm.
Favorite Autobot, Alita 1.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it did fucking. Who else could it possibly be? Fucking sloppy ass Optimus, enlightened centrist Bumblebee. Nobody else did anything.
Favorite Decepticon. Now, this may come as a shock from me, but genuinely, I do think Starscream is the most interesting of the bunch, at least by the end of the series.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got like the best moments. He's definitely got like. He's also like, yeah, he's. It's for me. It's either him or on. I do love me some Galvatron, and I do love. I think the bits that they do, even though it is very confusingly done, I think he's good in the show. And I think I like a lot
Now,
of
do
the
we count
moments
him
with
as a Decepticon, though?
Yes.
Or do we
He
count him as a
has-
third
he's-
party?
He's got the badge. He's still a
Okay,
Decepticon.
fair enough, fair enough. On that note, favorite third party person?
White Bumblebee. Like, I wish I could say the fucking Quintesson, but
I
like,
know.
DCS didn't do jack shit, and that hurts me so much. I am always craving that Quint content, and they never give it to me. Oh, I just remembered something that I was going to talk about. I forgot about what this show should have been. Do you know about the fucking like aligned continuity trilogy of books?
Yes,
Why wasn't it an adaptation of those?
because fuck you.
Ooh.
Favorite third party person? I did have an answer to this, actually, but I can't remember what it was anymore. Oh well, doesn't matter then.
I mean, it was a double dealer.
No,
Was it?
it's
I bet
fine.
it was
We're moving on. I'm not
I
dwelling
bet it
on
was
this.
Ramjet. Weren't you so enthralled by Ramjet's antics?
Favorite section? Either one or three. Two's Earthrise is a real stinker.
Paw, Earthrise was so bad. I think
It's probably Kingdom because they did almost stick the landing.
Kingdom has the highest concentration of good episodes. I think.
Yes.
Like, I think
Kingdom- If they had removed the last 10 minutes of this show, it would have actually been like watchable.
yeah, it's definitely Kingdom for me because, like, I even though it is fucking shitty that they're just doing like Dollar General Beast Wars, I still like Beast Wars.
It's still better than everything else they were doing.
Oh,
And like
yeah.
again, and like I think like the Cassandrification of Starscream is interesting. I think the, choosing to reject your own future to preserve your present and your current universe is interesting.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff was actually again, none of it was like brilliant,
It's
blow
not
me
a masterclass, but like,
yeah, but like it's perfectly serviceable television.
mhm.
Favorite person of interest. I don't know what that means. Or the next one, or vital section.
Not Earthrise. Whatever the vital part of this story is vital, none of it was in the second season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally could have just had the Ark and Nemesis crash. Like, they could have ended Siege differently and had them crash on Earth and just gone straight to Kingdom. None of that shit mattered. None of that shit fucking did anything. I don't know what person of interest is. There were no characters to be interested in the show.
Yeah, there were no interesting persons. Was there any persons you feel was left out or underrepresented? I mean,
Like half the fucking cast.
like here's the thing, like this was such a grab bag of characters that
I
like
would have liked to see more RC, I guess. I would have liked to see more, like, who else was in this fucking show?
Hey, remember Crimea?
God. They really killed all of those characters in the most undignified way. They just
Like so undignified.
Blown up by a big cartoon bomb. Come on. I think that Exhaust, the evil Wheeljack, should have been a bigger part of the show, and I think they should have kept his gimmick about being a huge, like, cigarette freak. He should have been smoking all the time.
I think he and Wheeljack should have fucked.
One episode
on screen.
Absolutely. And then you may ask, how on earth does Exhaust smoke the cigarettes? He has the Wheeljack faceplate, and it's like that's the mystery of it. That's the mystique of the character. You'll never learn.
It's through his exhaust.
I'm boofing this cig.
It's poppers.
Exhaust they should have just made that Exhaust, that character from Airplane who I picked a bad time to stop sniffing glue. Yeah. Like, you should have just like gone up a ramp of like more harder and harder drugs in every scene. I was just so tickled when I was like, okay, well, who's this evil Wheeljack that I read his
Exhaust, what are you putting up your exhaust? It's poppers.
When I read his, I was so entranced by the like cigarette focus of his character. I was like, God damn it, that's so funny.
Were you affected? Now, Mara, you probably will have more of an answer than this than I do. But were you affected by any scenes that references past Transformers media?
Affected, positive or negative?
Affected.
I mean, like I said, the Dinobot death scene did manage to wrench something out of me, but like it doesn't count. It's not fair because you're just like I said, you're just doing Code of Hero but worse. So it's like, yeah, obviously I'm gonna feel something because you're like making me think about a good episode of television. I mean, I've already spoken about how I think stupid like mirroring of the end of Beast Wars is really dumb. I mean, the angriest this show made me is, of course, the Scorponok travesty. Just a fucking complete.
You have to admit, it's pretty funny.
It is funny, but it's also just like, what were you doing? Why did you do that to this fucking, like, super important and beloved characters? Like, he's just basically like a space station monster. Okay.
Who are you most surprised about appearing this series? Skylinks.
I would actually say, so, Skylinks, I'm not surprised by him appearing. I'm surprised by his role, right?
Oh no, I was surprised by him appearing.
Skylinks is a fun character. He's a fun design.
Yeah, I know, but he also hasn't been used in like a cartoon outside of G1.
That's true. All of his appearances have been comic.
Yeah.
I think it's still like the triple hit of, is that fucking Spinister? Is that goddamn Skytread? Wait a minute, is that motherfucking Barricade? Like, the trio of like no-name guys was just like, what?
I mean, yes, but like it's something about like Skylinks not only appearing but appearing the way he did for me. Like that was everyone else, because everyone else was like a throwaway, right? It's like they consciously decided to make Skylinks this character, and like that was the one where like it got to him, and I literally just wrote down a note: Skylinks.
Just like, okay, you know what? You sold me. It is Skylinks. Just a baffling series of decisions.
Baffling decision. On a scale of 0 to 10, where would you place this series? We have reports of missing archived information. If you could scale any backlog series ASAP. We're not going to do that. But this is, like I said, this may be as bad as anyone has ever done it.
Okay, let's go through it. We're doing it. This is for archival purposes, Audrey. This is our legacy. It's not going to take long.
I don't want girl, this could be your legacy. It is not mine.
No,
I am not owning that.
It's important. All right. Armada. That's like a 6 to me. There's so much
6 or 7.
Armada, yeah, I think
I would
Armada
give it a
6,
7.
Legends 7. You know
I
what?
would
You're
give it a
right.
7. Yeah.
Even though the dub is a
Six
mess,
to
it is
me,
still
six
something
to
I love.
me is like distinctly mediocre. And
That's
I
true.
think
Armada
it, and
has
I think
so much
7.
good
I
stuff.
think Armada is better than mediocre.
Yeah, because then I just remembered Thrust and how much joy he brings to my life. So that Prime.
Prime,
That
I give like an 8 or an 8.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna get 8.5 cents is good for Prime. That is like we've said it before. That's the most Transformers ass Transformers show.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking distillation of Transformers. I think the next one was animated, if I remember correctly. No, the next one was G1. Now this is G1
10 out of
season
10.
1.
No, sorry, 10 out of 10 for G1 all the way through.
Yeah, it is truly unmatched. It is the most television anyone has ever made.
It is the most television that anyone has ever made.
Animated 9 out of 10, and I'm biased.
I mean, I would give it an 8.5 as well. I put it at exactly the same level as Prime.
Beast Wars is
8?
I think. Yeah, I would say 8. I think even though I love that show and a lot, the writing definitely improves in the later seasons, but that first season, there's some interesting episodes.
And it's also like there is an extent that even given the time that like you can't get over how it's animated.
Yeah. Cyberverse.
Like Cyberverse is probably like a 7.
I was gonna give it a 6.
Yeah, I mean I know I like it more than you do.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 6.5.
That seems like a good happy medium.
Yeah.
John.
2.
Wow. I would give Superlink a 2.5. It is marginally better.
Yeah, sure.
War for Cybermen trilogy.
A fat 1.
You're not gonna give it the goose egg?
There were enough moments in Kingdom particularly that I can say that I actually did enjoy myself for seconds at a time that I will give it the 1.
Yep. I hope you wrote those down, but we're not going over those in the future. So record those for posterity.
By the way, TFA, if you want to make that a 9, I'm taking Prime up to 9 as well.
It's fair. This is called the art of the deal, baby.
This is the art of the deal. I was like being conservative, but I was like, no. No. If Mara gets to have her special little show, I get to have mine.
That's the beauty of it. But of course, yeah, G1 is the only true 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no, G1 is truly
You're either lying or you're stupid.
I'm stupid. It is truly
not so hot.
It is truly an unparalleled viewing experience. Oh my god. Dead Name Stealing Faye asks, so you've built an Autobot team with an Armada-style Starscream as a leader. We've done this, haven't we?
I think we've done something like this. I don't think we've done this exact thing. Well, no, this is references to past ones. Okay.
Okay. You've made an Autobot team with a con artist Starscream as a leader, but now I ask you, who would you put on a team led by Cassandra-fied Starscream? It doesn't have to be an Autobot team, it could be Decepticon or a third-party wildcard or any other faction you want. Okay, team roles. Second in command.
This is like... So, Cassandra Starscream being the leader is like, this is like, we're in a bad future. This is like...
Okay.
It's like a fighting against like the tides of fate type situation. It's like, can you keep your head above the tragic waves and all that sort of thing?
I have a very real answer for this.
Yes, go for it.
IDW Metalhawk.
Fuck yeah! I think we just need to pack this team with like the most tortured souls. So like the medic / Old War veteran. That's Cup. Oh, that.
But I would it's like one of the other only characters in this show that I would choose is War for Cybertron trilogy specific Ratchet.
Oh yeah, God, that first episode with him was so he was so good in that, and then he just never. Yeah, I think Yeah, that like Ratchet, a Ratchet in this vein for sure. The Heavy.
Skyfire.
No.
G1 Skyfire.
Yeah, not this one. Yeah. The
Yeah.
regular old Jetfire.
Genuinely,
Absolutely.
G1 Skyfire, I think would like love a Starscream that is genuinely trying to do right by Cybertron. I think that would be very appealing.
Yeah. The Ninja Mirage.
Sure. Any specific version of him?
I mean, this one doesn't have anything going for him. IDW Mirage had like a couple of things, but I feel like Mirage has always been a character. They've always played with the idea of him being like a traitor, right? I want a version of Mirage that's like he was actually a traitor, and this is like his repentance.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
he was somehow instrumental in this bad future that fucking prophecy cursed Starscream's here to fix.
The guy that actually does his job always has to babysit the child comedy relief character, which was combined, I didn't say it, earlier with Second in Command, which Metalhawk very much is not. But I do think for Cassandra-fied Starscream, IDW Metalhawk is the best Second in Command you could get.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we need Orphaned Rumble in there.
I mean,
It's
I
a
was gonna
child
say,
comedy relief
yeah,
character. Oh, what were you gonna say?
and can I suggest for this role, the guy that actually does his job always has to babysit, IDW Rat Trap.
Oh, fuck. God damn, I love IDW Rat Trap.
What I love about IDW Rat Trap is Starscream going to him and being like, I know what you're doing, I did it, and you're just doing it worse than me.
You suck at this, bro.
Yeah, so don't fuck with
take
me,
it from the
homie.
master.
Yeah.
I am treachery maxing, motherfucker, in ways you cannot imagine.
Truly. And then the Turngoat / the guy who joins after the midway point of the series.
I think this is Nemesis Prime, right? Like if we're taking this, if we're using this show's bad future as like a jumping off point,
sure.
It's like they pull Nemesis Prime out of something, maybe. I don't know.
Or alternatively, like basically any version of Soundwave.
Oh fuck yeah, absolutely. He's still sticking with the Galvatron, but it's just not the same.
Yeah.
And he eventually turns just like IDW Soundwave. I just remembered how much I love IDW Soundwave. Yay.
And he did it for the love of Cosmos.
He sure fucking did. He loved that fat.
He loved that weird little Autobot. Veer also asks, I know y'all usually skip questions about visual aspects of the show, but can we agree that the promotional art for these series are boring as fuck? Like, how the fuck were they able to make something that has robots and dinosaurs on it look so boring? It's truly an art.
I use the Sorry, are you looking at the poster that I put for the image for this question for us? Can you go scroll up and look at Soundwave's stupid little pose?
Pew pew.
Look at him. Look at him go.
He's coming to get ya.
He's coming. And then
honestly, Beast Wars Megatron looks stupidest here. Not that that's difficult. For a purple T-Rex, but come on. It has the vague look, and the crazy thing is, I know it wasn't, but it does have the vague look of AI generated art.
Yeah. I also like that Air Razor's way in the back, but you can't really see her, so it just looks like Laserbeak is shooting at a normal bird.
Yes. Extinction effect.
He would fucking do that shit. That dude is a little asshole.
Hayvine asked, the raison d'etre of any Transformers media is to make you want to buy a toy. Did any of this make you want to buy these toys? Did it make you want to get rid of any you already had out of frustration? Now, I will say, one of my Starscreams is the WFC Starscream.
Yeah, they made some good figures. I have a Galvatron that is it's not from the line, but it's a re-release of the Kingdom Galvatron.
No, I will say,
it's really nice.
Did I buy that Starscream? No. Did someone else buy it for me? Yes. Do I want to get rid of it? Also no.
No, so there's a funny thing about this toy line, specifically the Siege toy line, I think, but I think it was a problem for all of them. So this was definitely a toy line more geared towards older collectors, right? Like it was,
And I
'cause
would
this
say
was,
Siege was like the biggest of the three by a pretty substantial margin.
yeah, it certainly had the most variety, I think. But I remember when this was coming out, and everyone was pretty excited about, like, okay, we're finally, it's been a bit since Generations. We're finally getting some like high quality, like G1 redesign stuff. And then everyone started seeing the figures, and they were like, oh, fucking hell. All of them have battle damage. All of them are covered in shit. Oh, no. So people complained about that a lot. They were like, man, this figure is great. I wish it wasn't covered in scorch marks, kind of. They did re-release a bunch of this stuff without all of the battle damage. But it was just a really funny thing of like everyone was kind of bitching about the battle damage. What is your opinion on figures with battle damage?
I mean, I think if it's like done like purposely and consciously enough where it's like very clear that it's on purpose and not like
Yeah,
like
I just,
wear and tear of being outside, that it's a totally valid thing to do. It may not be your cup of tea, but like I don't think
no.
it's
I think people, a lot of because it was like a collector thing, a lot of people really value the like pristine display thing, right? And so everyone was kind of pissy about all of the black smudges and stuff, messing up their display cases. I think it's okay. I do prefer them without battle damage, but that's just me. I think it's a cool idea. I didn't want to buy. This show came out during a waning period of my interest in Transformers, so I just wasn't interested in buying any of them.
I was about to say, is that the only reason you didn't watch?
Yeah, so, but I will say, once again, it is impressive how bad they are at selling, specifically their, like, big centerpiece Titan class figures. It's amazing how every single season they just figure out a new way to suck ass at it.
Like truly. Okay. Also from Haybine, this series was chock-a-block with to appeal to nostalgia for G1 and Beast Wars. What do you think is the difference between an homage and just making a bad copy of something?
I think the difference is knowing what made the thing, the thing you're like homaging work in the first place, right? It's like the difference is understanding and intent. It's why, despite the Watchmen movie being an extremely faithful adaptation of the comic in most regards, it's a terrible adaptation because it just completely misses the point of the fucking story. Like, it just completely whiffs on it. You have to know, you have to have like a deeper than surface level understanding of what it is you're doing to like make a proper homage. And I just don't think the writers behind this, or at least the people doing all of these like homages, like there were some weirdly deep cuts, but at the same time all of it did feel sort of surface level. Like, it all sort of felt like like I said, like someone nudging you with their elbows, like, hey, do you recognize that? Hey, that was the thing.
Ready Player One.
Exactly. It's like that is the difference, to me anyway.
Thank you, Demi. And our final question from Haybine: what if you watched Rid 2015 and had a Kicker Jones-esque reversal of opinion about it? You never know unless you try. I'll kill you.
We're not doing it. That show's ugly as fuck.
I'm looking at all these emoji reactions to this question. Don't.
Well, maybe if we ever start a Patreon, it'll be a goal. You have to pay me to watch
fuck you, pay me.
I really gave it a try when it was. I really loved Prime, and I was like, okay, I'll give this one a shot. I made it like halfway through the first scene. I was like, I can't do this. I just can't fucking do this. It looks so bad. It looks so fucking bad.
But the writing is spectacular.
Well, about that, I'm getting reports that it is in fact extremely mediocre.
I mean,
Yeah.
compared to what we've just watched, I'll take it.
You know, I am glad that the fucking Dinobots escaped being in this show. They don't deserve that shit. Well, speaking of the Dinobots, it is time for me to reveal what I have selected for our next season.
And if you haven't guessed from that...
There it isn't. Yeah, I mean, there is with what we have left. It's actually not that many. I mean, like I said, this was a real rough back-to-back thing, right? This was like, it was such a slog. We need some joy in our lives. We need to go back to peak. We need to return to the
champagne, cocaine, gasoline.
The fucking top of the mountain. I am declaring this the summer of Sunbow because we're going back to G1. We're doing G1 season 2, which, if you don't know, is the most cranked, boinked season of television anyone's ever made.
It's also the best season of television that anyone has ever made. To be clear,
cocaine was flowing. The ideas were dog shit, and they were having a blast. And I am going to work on getting a bunch of guests for this season because I want everyone in the world should understand. Everyone in the world, I must share with you G1 season 2, the beauty of it all, the beautiful game. If you open up a list of the episodes that are in G1 season 2, it is. It's
like taking consecutive punches to the solar plexus.
It is. I mean, like, it is so. I just like. There's so many in okay. So, like, yeah, the first season of G1 which we've already talked about, it's got some of that sauce, but it's mostly a straightforward like 80s children's cartoon. As I said, things get cranked in season 2. This is where we get a Decepticon Rider in King Arthur's Court, Child's Play, Enter the Nightbird, Atlantis Arise, The Girl Who Loved Power Glide, Hoist
Autobop,
Autobop, Trans-Europe Express, Starscream's Brigade, The Gambler, Cream Zeke.
You do need to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Dinobot Island, like. Come on, it's that City of Steel.
It is genuinely the best season of television ever created.
It is.
Is it like so you say, Audrey? Now you just said this was the best season of television created. Is it good? No, it's not.
Fucking insane is what it is.
It is not. It is not. But hey, why must things be good? It is not. That's is right. It not enough to see Decepticons covered in gold, throwing it at each other?
Golden Lagoon, Microbots, Megatron's master plan. I mean, truly.
Why must the cartoon be good?
This, like, literally, I'm just looking at the list. This is just all gas, no brakes. Every single episode brings a new level of just, like, utter bafflement. There's an episode. This contains an episode where Blitzwing plays football. Like, and the
Decepticons are just on the side.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of that episode is Starscream and Soundwave on the side, like, cuntily watching him. Like, what is that? Oh my god!
This is the season where they get the Decepticons make an evil Optimus Prime clone, and they decide the best way to solve which one is the real Prime is to have a race.
I love G1. Here's the thing: like, if this series was
time displaced cowboys and like Mongols,
this franchise would never have survived if this series was not as batshit as it is. Like,
absolutely. Season 1, sure, it was fine. Season 2 is truly where it all
Season
began.
2 is like, oh, we have something. Boys, we have something.
Get the cocaine, fellas. We're gonna write.
How long have we been awake? Irrelevant.
Sorry. I just clicked on a random episode that I didn't recognize. I'm gonna. Here's a picture from the episode "Quest for Survival."
1 second. Let me get into the right channel. Sure.
Okay, for our audience, it's a picture of Blaster half transformed into boombox mode. So his legs are sticking out of the boombox, being surrounded by like robot starfish.
Oh, Christ alive!
Yeah, this is where we're headed.
Yeah.
We will be on break 2 weeks for this season.
Are we watching Transformers 1?
Oh, we should. Didn't wait. I think we already did that. I think we're out of movies.
I thought the last one we watched was Bumblebee.
No, we watched one.
Or sorry, was Rise of the Beast rather?
No, we've watched one. I remember that because it was the palate cleanser after Energon. At least I'm pretty sure it was.
Are you sure that wasn't just us watching it when it came out in theaters?
No, that was definitely my second time watching it.
Okay.
So I was about to say we're out of movies to show postseason. Not technically true. Because there is, of course, that fucking horrible fan-made Transformers Prime.
No, that
movie.
doesn't count. That doesn't count. You used a qualifier fan-made. It's out.
But I want to watch it so bad. It seems like it's.
Then you know what? You can watch it. We're just not doing it on this show.
That's fine. Well, regardless,
no one's stopping you. It's a free country.
I don't want to watch it on my own.
That's a pretty funny joke.
As I'd say, sure. We'll figure something out. But yeah, we'll be on break 2 weeks, and then we will begin the fucking show.
The show ever.
So, of course, until then, we have been Prime Cuts. I'm Mara. You can follow me on Blue Sky at MaraWeaver.biscuit.social, on Tumblr with Cyclones with the 5 at the end of it. I was recently on... I don't know when the episode is going to be coming out. It should be coming out at some point. I was on Hyperfixation Station. I talked about this last time. I recorded the episode. Over half of it is about Edelgard. So...
Oh, wow. Who could have guessed?
Yeah, spoilers. One of my picks is Edelgard, but I'll leave the other two up for you to discover. So keep
I'm
an eye
going to
for
guess
that.
Someone from FF14.
Nope.
Really?
Actually not. Yeah, I know. I considered it, but I had some interesting picks.
My other guess would have been someone from She-Ra.
Nope.
Okay.
Whiff on both counts. Those were both. I had runners up from both of those series, but
yeah. But I did scalp you with Edelgard. Not that it was particularly hard to do.
I mean, I was really only picking two. One of them.
Yeah, exactly.
One of them was already locked in from the get-go. So yeah, keep an eye out for that episode. And that's me.
I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Optimum Prime. That's my funny robot internet joke. You can listen to the other podcast I do called Pot of Greed, which is about Yu-Gi-Oh! We are almost done with 5Ds. We have like 3 episodes of podcasts left.
That's crazy.
Isn't that bonkers?
Oh my, you're gonna start Zexel soon. Now that's
we sure are. I've also been cast in an audio drama for which I'm also doing script editing for, called The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine. We are in active production for that right now, so stay tuned for more information about that. It will be coming out later this year. And hey, are you free at all during Memorial Day weekend, except for Monday, Memorial Day? That doesn't matter. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you're free at all, check out the Moonessance Festival. It's a annual fundraiser that we do on the Moonshot Network. And we are raising money for trans charities this time. I forget the exact one that we are doing, but 3 days of fun streams. I will be on 2 blocks for that. One on Saturday and one on Sunday of that weekend.
Sunday, and Saturday.
Yeah.
Of course, we are a part of the Noise Space Network. Noisespace.xyz for all of your podcast needs. You don't need to go anywhere. I guess Lydia Fontaine is on, so you have to go somewhere else to listen to that. But other than that...
Yeah, you can go to Moonshot.
That's right. But other than that, nothing else. We don't need none of them fucking...
We don't need McElroy money.
They even does Maximum Fun even still exist? Didn't they leave Maximum Fun?
I think they're still on Max. I'm pretty sure they're on Max Fun.
That?
I don't listen to Mabim Bam or Taz anymore, but I do listen to Wonderful, and I'm pretty sure Wonderful is still on Max Fun. So I'm pretty sure that would not be on Max Fun if they'd left.
Yeah, okay, they're still there.
Yeah.
Along with so many fake shows. All right.
Whatever.
Well,
We don't need them.
We don't need them.
them.
We have all we need right here at Noise Space. So, until next time, dear listeners, I am going to talk at half speed to deliver the most boring dialogue you could ever conceive of. Transform and roll out.
I'm going to drink until I black out and forget all this happened. Peach!
Transformers.